I am so happy with how this looks for the Rangers. We have a pitcher, Jack Leiter, and he is a dude.
And while I do think his hitting is worse than Derek Jeter, it's not that far off.
You're not mentioning 2006. You can mention the other people, not 2006.
Oh, just because I bought the best soap doesn't mean your room's going to be clean. It just leaves it to where I don't believe that the Canadians had a shot.
I really don't like the Clippers just kind of sending it in when they're like...
Hi, this is Kelly Forbes with the Dallas Stars, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. This one, a lot of speed on here. Running backs, Austin. This one is volatile, I would say. I remember last year, we both didn't have Josh Jacobs on our list, and it was brought up in the comments, and you answering like with it. And now he's in my top 10.
He's not in mine.
Okay.
I understand why you have him. I did find it funny last year because we did do this video, and he was talking to me like we hated Josh Jacobs. I'm a Packers fan. I want Josh Jacobs to do well, so I don't know why I would be hating on him, but that's kind of the same story here. He's one of my honorable mentions. Another honorable mention I have is Chuba Hubbard and James Conner. Those are the three honorable mentions I have. Who are your honorable mentions?
My honorable mention, Devon Achane, and Bucky Irving.
Okay.
So, man, I'm curious if you have Achane on your list. I'll go into my 10. This is the first time I have a rookie on the list. I have Ashton Genty from the Raiders. I think he's going to be a top 10 running back.
I have him on my list as well, but I have him significantly higher.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say significantly.
No,
I would say significantly. It's definitely not close.
Okay. All right. So who's your 10?
My 10 is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones was top 10 rushing yards last year with 1,138. He also had 408 receiving yards, which is the second highest yards from scrimmage he's had in his entire career. I mean, 1,546 yards and 7 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. And I think those rushing plus receiving touchdowns go up. I think they're going to have to rely on him this year because they have a rookie QB. And while there's definitely some guys left off my list, I mean, Achane is not on my list. I will say that. And I'll kind of get into a reason here in a little bit. But I think Aaron Jones will be very good again. I know he's getting up in age, but I've yet to see him play bad. I mean, his yards per carry has never been below 4.5 yards per carry, which is insane.
Yeah, he was a tough cut for me because he is getting up in age, but he's been productive as well. So I'm hoping for him to do well. So that's your 10. My 9 is Tony Pollard with the Titans. He started coming on, getting better as the season progressed. I think he's going to get better with the Titans. I still think there was some injury lingering, and him like finally feeling like himself. He had above 1,000 yards last year, and I'm curious. I understand the argument for having Genty higher. To me, it feels like a risk to put him on because he is a rookie, but there's just so much hype with him. So I'm excited to hear your argument.
It's a prediction. And there's always usually a rookie running back that'll end the year in the top 10. So I feel like it's safe to have him. My number 9 is Chase Brown with the Bengals.
Yes.
Chase Brown was extremely good last year. And I know he kind of took over in the second half of the season, but when he took over, he completely took over. And I think that he'll have a very productive year this year.
Yeah, and that's a guy, he had been in the league for a while, right? Or was he an undrafted rookie?
He was an undrafted rookie, but that was his second year last year. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay, yeah. It wasn't, sometimes just guys pop up. Now I'll go into my 8. This is a guy you had an honorable mention, James Conner. He's someone that continues to get up in age, but he's still productive for the Cardinals. Had more yards than Tony Pollard last year, 3 more touchdowns. And I think he's just a constant player at the running back position.
Who do you say?
James Conner.
James Conner. Yeah, he was an honorable mention for me. That was your 8 or 9?
Yes. 8. 9 was Tony Pollard.
That's right. Okay. My number 8 is Kyren Williams. I've been a Kyren fan ever since he's been in the league. I know that sounds a little bit crazy because his rookie year he wasn't all that great, but I did believe in him at Notre Dame. I mean, he had a ton of great rushing stats there, and I think he has a good year this year. I think he'll stay in the top 10. He's been one of the best touchdown getters in the NFL over the past 2 seasons, and I think that he continues to do that this year for a Rams team that's definitely going to need him.
I am concerned. He was a tough cut for me. I am concerned about his fumbles, but he is a fantastic player. I think he had
he had 5.
Yeah, compared to the others, but I'm trying to think. There was a running back who had terrible fumbling issues, and then I think he fixed it.
Well, yeah, and I do think there's fumbles is definitely a problem, but I mean, there's a guy on my list that I'll get to that has basically the same amount as him. So
okay, Josh Jacobs is my 7 for the Packers. 1,329 yards, 15 touchdowns. Really, he was great, but it seemed like a one-off for me what he did with the Raiders. But to do it on a Packers team, that was good. Really changed my opinion of him and had me put him on this list.
yeah, my number 7 is Jonathan Taylor, and I know you say Jonathan Taylor at 7. I don't know how much I trust the team, and I do think that partially impacts the amount that I put him up. Last year, he was still very good in 14 games. He also had 4 fumbles last year, so comparable. He's also had 4 fumbles before in his career. In 2021, he also had 4. I just don't think fumbling is that big of an issue as long as you don't lose them as much. It kind of also depends on when you fumble and where you fumble. Like if it's goal line fumbles, okay, that's the problem. But yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor will be very good this year. I just think that the Colts offense will kind of stunt his ability to be successful.
He's a guy that is not on my list, and it just seems like he has been great, but I need to see more from him because he was a guy that came in with a lot of hype.
He went 1,400 yards last year.
Yeah,
in 1,400 yards in 14 games, 102 yards per game.
But I need to see one more year from him. So we'll have to see. My 6 is James Cook from the Bills. Only 1,000 yards, but 16 touchdowns. He's someone that adds a lot just out of the backfield as well as a pass catching option. Has really helped the Bills and really propelled them to a much better season than I expected them to be. And I think he does it again for him.
Okay. Yeah, he was not on my list. James Cook, I think, stole some touchdowns from Josh Allen that Josh Allen will reclaim this year, and that's part of the reason. Also, he's kind of mad at the front office, so we'll see how that works out. My number 6 is Bucky Irving. He only started 3 games last year, played in all 17, had 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, had 392 receiving yards for 1,500 yards from scrimmage. Extremely, extremely good last year. I remember watching him at Oregon, and before Oregon, he was at Minnesota, where he was a solid freshman there. But I think that his ability to just catch, receive, and also run, he'll be a big part of this Bucs offense.
Yeah, he really just came out of nowhere, and he was a rookie. So I'm excited to see what he does. My 5 is Jahmyr Gibbs from the Lions. Really broke out, 1,412 yards and 16 touchdowns, and he did this all with David Montgomery sharing the backfield with him. And he was a high pick from the Lions in the first round, and we can debate about that, but I think he just has another great year.
Yeah, Gibbs, we'll get to him in a second. At 5, I have Ashton Jeanty. So like I said, significantly higher than you. I think the Raiders will be solid on offense. We'll see what happens on the defensive side after the Christian Wilkins ordeal. But I do think that the offense will be solid. And because the offense will be solid, I think Ashton Jeanty will be very good. He'll be a big piece of that, and I think that Geno Smith will definitely use it correctly.
All right, now we go to 4. This is where I have Bijan Robinson with the Falcons, 1,456 yards, 14 touchdowns. And yeah, he really has a lot of hype, and it feels like he's starting to do it and live up to the hype he had coming out of college. So he's my 4.
I'm trying to think who I forgot. I feel like I forgot someone because of where you are in your list, which is making me a little bit worried. But I really like the guys I have, so we'll see if I made a big blunder. My number 4 is Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs is, I think, going to be even better this year. Apparently, they are going to try to use him in some sort of receiving role, which I find
Ooh.
extremely interesting. But also, David Montgomery is going to be good for them. But Jahmyr Gibbs, his ability to receive, I mean, he almost had 2,000 yards from scrimmage with also 20 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. He also only fumbled one time last year. So Jahmyr Gibbs is an extremely talented running back.
Okay, so he's your 4?
He's my 4, yes.
Okay. My 3 is Derrick Henry. 1,921 yards last year, 16 touchdowns. He does benefit with sharing the backfield basically with Lamar Jackson, even though Lamar Jackson is also an incredible quarterback. But he still does it, and I think he continues to do it. It's amazing just how well he's continuing to run with so much mileage with him, but he's a fantastic running back.
Yeah, you're scaring me again, Kevin, because I'm trying to think who am I missing? Because
I'm curious.
I just don't know who you're gonna have that I'm not gonna have. But my number 3 is also Derrick Henry. So we agree here. Derrick Henry, you had Derrick Henry at 3, right?
Yeah. So you're in our agreement on. I think that's our first agreement. Is Derrick Henry at 3?
Yeah. He had 3 fumbles last year. Did you know that the 2 years ago he had 6 fumbles in 2022 at the Titans? He's also had 5 fumbles before in his career, but again, I don't think he's going to have that much of a problem this year. I mean, he led the league in rushing touchdowns, 1,900 yards, 113 yards per game. And while I do think he'll slow down a little bit, I don't think he's going to have over 2,000 yards from scrimmage again. I still think he'll be a top 3 running back.
All right. So now we get to 2. And I know you're talking about who are you missing now. I'm starting to worry a little bit. I have Christian McCaffrey at 2 for the Niners.
That's who I'm
I know he
missing.
struggled.
That's who I'm missing.
Okay.
That's who I'm missing. Wow.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not that mad that I didn't have him on. Now that you mentioned his name, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why I didn't have him. Is because he only played 4 games last year.
Yeah.
Now, I get why you have him.
Yes.
But
I think it's a healthy year for him again. But yeah, no, it's understandable not to have him.
Now I can take a deep breath because I was. It's not as bad as a miss as I thought it was going to be because again, CMC, is he going to be back? Do we know? But I understand how, because if he is back, he is a top 3 running back, right?
Yeah.
So
who's your 2?
Bijan Robinson is my 2. Where did you have him?
He was my 4. Yeah.
Yeah, Bijan had a great year last year. 15 rushing plus receiving touchdowns, almost 1,900 yards from scrimmage. And the Falcons are going to rely on him, Drake London, some of the other guys they have on their team to be a big part of a very impressive roster.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. And yeah, it's really the big 3 for me is Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, and the number 1, Saquon Barkley from the Eagles. 2,000 yards last year, 13 touchdowns. And he, like Christian McCaffrey, it is like if they are healthy, they're one of the best running backs. And I think the Eagles are a better team for him to keep that health up, similar to how the Niners are that for McCaffrey. So that's why Saquon Barkley I see repeating again with the Eagles and being the number 1 running back.
I have no comment or concern. He is my number 1 as well. I don't think you could really put anyone else at 1. And even though this is a prediction, I still think the Eagles heavily rely on him this year to have similar success. Maybe not 2,000 yards, but similar success that he had last year.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a premier organization, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I think they know how to take care of him while giving him a heavy load because he did lead their offense. So we'll have to see what happens. I'll let you close this one out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know which running backs you think will be the best this year and which guys we left off our list.